Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So welcome to another Market Open stream. Today, let's talk about this prediction by this one analyst that says Bitcoin will hit $180,000 by this date. And he explains why he thinks this is a realistic possibility. So let's talk about this, and let's talk about everything else that's going on in the world of crypto. So let's do this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And the market bell has just... Uh-oh. There we go. Still running. All right, so the U.S. market probably... Yesterday was in a green. Today, I don't know if it's going to follow. Overall, I predict that it's going to be a little boring until this FOMC meeting that is coming up tomorrow, okay? What is Powell going to do? Tomorrow we know what's going to happen. There will be another rate hike, but what is he going to do afterwards? So everyone's speculating. The next one is September. Will he announce we need another one tomorrow, or will he be more dovish and say, well, maybe we just wait and see. We don't really need another one for now, right? So that's what everyone is kind of speculating right now, right? In the U.S. market, well, we'll see if Wall Street traders are undecided, and we'll just see what they do, right? Really, that's all there is. It's kind of just wait and see at this point. But in the meantime, we do have a couple big tech companies, Microsoft and Google, both reporting today after hours, and we'll see if AI made a difference with either one of these companies. I know it made a huge difference with Microsoft. I'm predicting Microsoft is going to have an absolutely outstanding quarter. I don't know about Google. Google's Bard seems to be real struggling, and I don't know. I don't see anyone talking about Bard. Everyone's talking about ChatGPT, and Microsoft integrated that feature into most of their offerings with their cloud servers, Azure, and with Office Suite, and they're still expanding upon that. So I'm pretty sure they made boatloads of money with it. I don't know about Google. They've been struggling with ad business for quite some time. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe these two guys will turn things around. Well, actually, tech has been pretty strong as of late. So I don't think they need to turn things around. But they might jumpstart leading up into tomorrow's FOMC meeting, right? So we'll see. But as for Bitcoin, we know Bitcoin is still kind of just like hovering, but we're down. We're not at 30,000. We're a little bit down, about 800 points down, right? So people are wondering what is going on. Are we going to get that next leg up? Are we going to break 31,000 finally and continue higher? Well, today we have one analyst that thinks yes, and more yes, more good is coming to Bitcoin. And how high? How high? $180,000. $180,000 by this date, April 2024. When I first came across this, I thought he was going to say like end of the next cycle, which would be like December 2025 or something like that. No, he's saying $180,000 by April 2024, which is the halving event, right? Well, actually, halving event could be April or May, but somewhere around there. So leading up to the halving event, we're going to get $180,000. And why does he think this is going to happen? And this is actually from Fundstrat, by the way, Fundstrat. The reason being is this Blackrock spot ETF, if approved, will bring in massive amount of money into the space that will help drive Bitcoin up. It's really that simple. Now, according to them, right now, there's a daily demand of 25 million per day, okay? And there's a daily mining reward of 25 million. So it kind of cancels out. You have 25 million coming into the space every day, although I don't think that's the case. Miners are just holding that. But anyways, for this example, he's saying, well, 25 million is coming out, 25 million is coming in. It's net zero, right? But a Bitcoin spot ETF from Blackrock can add an extra 100 million more transactions or more buys per day. So the two are now not netting out. Now you have 125 million being bought per day, removing that, and then 25 million coming into this space. So then you have a net negative of $100 million. And that would make Bitcoin's price blow up. Every $1 would add to $5 in price appreciation, basically. And that is why if we see a spot Bitcoin ETF, we could see demand just skyrocket to the moon, and Bitcoin will start skyrocketing, basically. That is his argument, and I can't say it's flawed. The price may be a little bit high by April 2024, but I think most people are really underestimating how much money is going to flow in after we get a spot Bitcoin ETF. We have so many institutions waiting, sitting on the side, still afraid to jump into Bitcoin itself, but they would love to jump into an ETF that actually follows the price of Bitcoin, right? There will be so much. And here's the thing, BlackRock is moving forward to expand their presence in Asia because they think this is going to happen. BlackRock is just so huge. It's not just in the US. They have presence in 36 countries. They hold about 10 trillion in assets. They are absolutely huge. And here's the thing, even this article talks about if a Bitcoin spot ETF is approved, let's just say the BlackRock one, as much as $30 trillion worth of capital can be made available to the Bitcoin market. Remember I said before, trillions upon trillions upon trillions? That is what we're talking about. Trillions with a T. We're not even talking about billions. That's the potential of a BlackRock Bitcoin spot ETF. But I say BlackRock spot ETF, but there's 7 or 8 other fund companies that are looking to release theirs as well, right? So it's just a combination of everything. You're talking about trillions upon trillions coming in, and that is going to add a lot to the demand pressure, right? So that's awesome. That is awesome. And you know what? Right now, we still see this Wyckoff accumulation. So short term, we may still see some of this. Okay, and Wyckoff accumulation is basically the big boys trying to accumulate. Maybe BlackRock is doing this. Not saying BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF is only good. You know, having BlackRock in anything is not 100% good. But you know, these big boys, they're the ones that created this and follow this, right? So who knows? Who knows? Maybe this is one of those periods where they are simply accumulating, and it's not just the BlackRocks of the world, right? There's others that are huge fund managers that need to accumulate Bitcoin in order to come out with their spot Bitcoin ETF. Here's the thing: they need to hold. This is the difference between futures and spot ETF. They need to actually hold X number of Bitcoin to offer these shares, right? So if they don't have any Bitcoin, then they can't do it. So they may be accumulating right now, which is why Bitcoin is at where it is and hasn't gone up, because they're trying to accumulate as much as possible, right? So think about it. But overall, if we are following this Wyckoff accumulation pattern, well, that means the next leg up are going to be fantastic. But this is actually looking at the DXY, by the way. But if you look at a Bitcoin chart, it's almost like identical, right? But yeah, that is something that could help drive Bitcoin higher, right? Also, as DXY drops lower. Anyways, moving forward, here's another one, Kelter channel, which, again, it looks like Bollinger Bands, basically. It's another channel where basically you could get squeezes, and you also get this middle ground, this middle moving average. And whenever you're in a bull market, that middle average is basically where Bitcoin bounces off of and uses as a support, right? And we're in one of those stages right now. So again, does this mean that we're going to get a squeeze and we're going to explode higher, especially after the FOMC meeting or spot Bitcoin ETF approval or some other approval, right? Some other catalyst, maybe, right? Most likely. So this goes to show you. And then one last thing about Bitcoin and its current cycle, this current 4-year cycle, it definitely moved into the next bull run already. Very early stages. We're just not past the middle ground, which is the halving cycle. And then afterwards, that's when you go on the parabolic bull phase. We're not there yet, but we definitely started a new bull cycle. And you can see the blue is right where we are. And what happens after blue? Well, green. Green happens, and that's really good. Really good. And by the time we get to the green, that's when we could be at 180,000 already. That's what FunTrat was arguing, that by that time, the halving event, and we actually entered a really parabolic phase, Bitcoin could be at 180,000 already. That would be nutty. That would be really nutty if that's the case. Many people don't even think we could get to this by the end of this current cycle, but you know what? Crazier things have happened before. And this time around with institutions that have trillions on the sideline waiting to enter, we just don't know how this cycle is going to go. Like, we just don't know how much money will be flowing in, right? But you know what? Japan, they kind of know. The Prime Minister reaffirms Web3 plans as Binance announces imminent launch. Okay, so the Prime Minister of Japan is talking about how Web3 is a new form of capitalism and they don't want to miss out. Okay, so he kind of knows. It sounds like he kind of knows, and he's embracing Binance, as other countries are distancing themselves away from Binance, which is weird. But Japan is embracing Binance. Binance will open some new arm or something within Japan, right? But overall, as a country, they are very pro crypto, which is fantastic. We need to see more. We need to see more countries do this rather than create more laws to push innovation away, especially like in the U.S. with the SEC, right? We need more to bring them back and bring them in, I should say, right? Speaking of Binance, they're looking to dismiss the CFTC lawsuit, which claims they knowingly allowed U.S.-based traders access to their derivatives platform. This is back in the day in like 2017, 2018, when everyone was still allowed to use Binance.com, right? CZ and Binance argues that that is not the case, so we'll see how this goes. But Binance is, being attacked by both the CFTC and the SEC right now. They're easy targets. Seems like everyone wants to target them. So that's the unfortunate thing. And then lastly, excuse me, keep losing my voice. Lastly, Dogecoin, which I already talked about, bumped up the last few days. And is it still higher? No, it finally took a break. But Dogecoin is up because this whole X thing, right? I don't even know what you're supposed to. I heard tweets are now called Zeets or something like that, which is just absolutely horrible. But this whole name change of Twitter has people speculating whether or not, a payment solution or a wallet or whatever is coming, and if Doge is going to be part of these things, right? That's why Doge pumped up, 10% over the last few days, but we'll see. People have been waiting for a long time. Ever since Elon bought Twitter, people have been waiting for that. Still has not happened. Is he finally going to do it? I hope so. So that's the latest. All right, outside of those things, that's pretty much it. Today looking to be green. Hey, Bitcoin is up a little bit. 29,300. Let's see if it can get back to 30,000 and move forward to 31,000. We need to see some movement in order for us to get to 180,000 by April of 2024. So let's see. And today, Today, NASDAQ is up. NASDAQ is up. Let's see. Coinbase is up. Microsoft is up. Riot is up big. Tesla is up. So today's a pretty good day overall. All right, let's do some Q&A. Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but because you can't say tweets anymore, I heard the new way to describe a tweet is zeets. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know how else, you know, where they go say. Anyways, will the halving be front run? Well, it could. It could. I mean, every single halving event that we had previously, Bitcoin's price started going up rapidly, either on the dot or months later, right? So people aren't predicting that. So maybe things are front run this time around, right? Who knows? Or maybe they're not. Someone says, Stoner Trivia says, XRP killing you? How? Well, XRP is good. They're back above 70 cents today, so that's good. So they, you know, you can't really complain about XRP. They were still like 40 cents, 40 something cents below 50 cents 2 weeks ago, and since then, you know, they've gone up like 5%, no, like 50%. So you can't be discouraged by the last few days. I don't know why this always resets. There we go. Yeah, they're still up 50% for the last 60 days, so can't really complain about the last few days. Greeting from Netherlands. Okay. Do you hold SHIB in your portfolio? No, I do not. I do not. Let's see. Favorite baseball team? I am an anti-baseball guy. I have no interest in baseball whatsoever, so I don't have a favorite team. Do you think the whole NASDAQ is moved by these handful of big companies while other companies are struggling? That could be the case. That certainly could be a case. I think a lot of small companies, the ones that are not traded, they are struggling for sure because it's hard to get capital these days. Because loans are just astronomically high because of the interest rates. But, you know, the bigger, let's say, mid-tier companies that are publicly traded, a lot of them are struggling, I'm sure, right? But the big ones continue to get bigger. This is why I've argued, if you're going to invest in stocks, okay, let's say you're not a crypto investor, or you are a crypto investor, you're still trying to invest in stocks, you just, you know, just to invest in the big boys. There's no need to invest anything in the Dow Jones. Like, you know, Coca-Cola or Bank of America or Johnson & Johnson or Travelers Insurance, they're not going to give you any gains. They'll probably give you like 5% for an entire year when Microsoft or Apple are going to give you like 30% year over year. Like, why would you hold on to anything that's non-tech and not the big tech? Because they're the ones that could consistently keep making you money. Everything else is just going to be struggling. So, yeah. I just don't get it. I don't get it. So, but I do think a lot of the crypto-related stocks have a ton of potential because they're related to crypto. And we know crypto is going to go a lot higher. Orange Lambo, they're not. It's just a few shills that keep spanning it. So don't believe in the hype. Will the Feds signal a raise for September? I think that's the $1 million question. I think that's what everyone wants to know tomorrow. Where's that countdown thing? Right now, 98.9% chance tomorrow there will be a 25 basis point hike. But then you look at September 1, is 81% chance that there will be no more. And then 18.7% chance there may be another hike, right? But this is what Powell's going to address. Everyone's going to be asking him, is this one going to be the last, or is there a possibility of another one? And he's going to address that, right? He's probably going to say, we have to wait and see. We have to, wait for more data, blah, 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 right? But is he going to be more hawkish or dovish? Brent says, this is random, but do you think the broad public is pretty financially uneducated since so many people are taking out loans right now? Brent, that's exactly right in my opinion. Most people are not that good financially educated, and they make poor choices. And, I would argue me and my wife, we did the same for many, many, many years. Growing up in the U.S., you're bombarded with, advertisers that make you want things, right? You're bombarded with advertisers, marketers that are selling you the latest and greatest. In the U.S., we have this notion that, hey, buy now and pay off later, right? Everything is done by debt through credit cards or loans and stuff. People just keep wanting more and more and more and more. And even though people are making more money, finding new jobs or getting raises or bonuses, right, they find ways to spend more. And most Americans are like that. If you look at savings account, I don't have the statistics in front of me, but you look at the average household, how much savings they have, it's very, very little. And most households are living paycheck to paycheck, right? And people FOMO into things that they want, right? Not just buying things they need. So yeah, I would say a lot of people do need more education on how to manage their finances better. These are things that they don't teach you in school, okay? School teaches you skills or trade secrets, or no trade secrets. They teach you skills in terms of finding a job. That's pretty much it. There's no school, no classes that teach you financial education in terms of how you should manage your money, how to maximize your returns, how to set yourself up for financial freedom. They don't teach you that. School wants you to get a job and work for like 40 years and then retire with your retirement plan or 401k or Social Security, and that's how you should live. That's not how it should be. Anyways, I went off on a tangent a little bit there. Johnny, Blackrock's a necessary evil, like buying groceries versus cultivating own food. No, that's not a good analogy, but I get your point. Helps many folks that don't want to put in the work to easily get in. It's a lot more complex than that, and it's not like buying groceries versus cultivating food. It's more like if you had to start a fire, do you want to use flint and and try for hours to start a fire, or would you rather have a match or a lighter, right? Either way, you get a fire. One is just much faster than the other, right? That's kind of like what a spot ETF does. It just makes it easier and faster. But as for BlackRock itself, you know, many argue that they could control it. If they're the only ones that has the lighter, then they get to control the fire market, right? Or the fire, so to speak. That's what people are afraid of. If they get into Bitcoin too much so, they can control the market, and no one wants that. Ride is still doing pretty good. Dave Ramsey rocked my world with getting out of debt. His crypto takes are terrible, though. Yes. I would say Dave is great. Probably #1 at financial education. Except he's so close-minded to Bitcoin and crypto. He pretends like he's never heard of them before. And he pretends like it hasn't been the best store of value over the last decade. Right? So if you ignore that, then you'll be fine. If you need to get out of debt, he will teach you how to do that. But he also does not teach people how to invest at all. He's all about getting out of debt and stuff, which is great. That's step #1. Step 2 is how to invest and also how to use debt to invest. There's good debt and bad debt. He doesn't really teach good debt, at least not from the videos I've seen. He's all about like saving, getting rid of your debt. Okay, that's good. Step #1, which is what most people need. But step 2 is how do you invest for the future and also how to utilize debt properly to amplify your investments, right? And you, like, for example, real estate is a big thing, and you could definitely do that with real estate, which he owns a lot of real estate, but he doesn't seem to preach that. And then, of course, other asset classes like crypto, he just totally ignores or shits on. I have a question from Jack Daniels. If BTC all-time low on exchanges and BTC holders all-time high and hash rate also all-time high, then why Bitcoin price isn't all-time high or even near all-time high? Thanks. Well, because there's still enough Bitcoin out there, right? Even though Bitcoin, the supply on exchanges is at all-time low still means there's several million out there, okay? There's still a good amount of supply out there. So eventually, in order for that to really have meaningful effect on the price, that number needs to get a lot lower. We're talking about, you know, exchanges might have to have less than 1 million Bitcoins on them or less than 500,000 Bitcoin on them, right? So right now, it's based on what we have. Bitcoin equilibrium is right around where we are, around 30,000, right? But you're going to need either the demand to go higher or supply to drop lower. Just that simple. I'll agree with Dave. I don't like gold. I never did. It makes no sense to me. Your market bell has lasted longer than 99% crypto companies. I swear. I've been using this bell for how many years? 3 years? 4 years? And never switched out the battery. And it still works. I'm shorting WorldCoin, easy money. WorldCoin just seems like it's a total disaster. I would stay far, far, far away from WorldCoin. I said in my piece yesterday, there's too many shady things going on with it. No, this is not a Disney mug. No, my wife collects these Starbucks, like, these Starbucks mugs, like, everywhere we go. So, we have a ton of them, and I'm just using them every day. Maybe it has no batteries. That doesn't make any sense. All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap up. Overall, in today's Bitcoin got a little momentum. We'll see if it could push back up to 30. Overall, U.S. market kind of mixed. NASDAQ tech doing a little better. Microsoft, their earnings could drive things even higher, but overall, we'll see what the FOMC meeting tomorrow brings, and I'll cover more about that tomorrow morning. But will Bitcoin rocket to 180,000 by April 2024? Possibly, if we get a spot Bitcoin approved soon. And then that would mean trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars could be flowing in. And if that's the case, then of course, this is a possibility. But until then, we'll just have to wait and see. We know that we are well on our way. We are in a new bull market, and greater days and greater things are going to be coming. So you just have to have patience. All right. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.